Good morning, Suzanne Joy.
Good morning, Deborah Leanne.
I don't know how many years we've been playing in this way, but I was reading through some old comments from years ago, and somebody said, "You two have the cutest dynamic." I wonder if they would still think the same now that we've gone in our deeper uh, direction. I'd like to tune in and talk a bit more about contemplation. What's floating your boat today? Anything at the wanting to come out?
Um, well, I've been just playing in balance and adaptability, knowing that change is here. And I
And
was,
always will be.
yeah, exactly. And it's really following my own inner light, my own inner intuition, knowing what feels in resonance with me. It's like making. I don't. It's not like a mechanic where I need to fix something. It's more like a musician and the string on the lute, so to speak. And as that note is finally attuned to its own natural vibrancy, it's going to find resonance with the other strings to make the beautiful music. So you are, what might be out of tune that I get to bring back into resonance within me.
Okay. So contemplating resonance.
Yeah.
And for the and the pulse this week is so perfect for both of those topics, which I can easily see how we can weave them together. Um, Gene Key 24, which is a very Taurus energy, which those of you who understand that stuff might have a better of an idea. Plus, we have a full moon tomorrow. So there's a lot of things coming to light, asking to be let go, um, asking for forgiveness and grace. And from what I understand, there's going to be a lot of things that we're not going to want to let go in the next 3, 4, 5 days because we're like, I'm not finished with that yet. So maybe one of those, for me, it's like getting rid of a huge box of scrapbooking collage materials because I know I'm not going to, I mean, there's beautiful, expensive papers in there. And I'm like, Deborah, you're not, that's not where you are anymore. But it still hurts. And I have all these people who want it on Facebook Marketplace. It's hysterical to me. So I'm like, they want it, send it to them. So there's this almost like, I feel like contemplation is part of it, but it almost feels like there's a part of us that doesn't even get a choice. So we can open to where do we want to go. But then I think then that's when we pop over and use the resonance tool to go, is this even me?
Right.
So it's tuning in.
Yeah.
Feel that? Is that what it? I'm just trying to figure out because
Yeah. I feel this is when we are tuning into our own inner compass. And you can ask yourself, or I've asked myself, what is this moment showing me that is true for me?
yeah. And
And each one of us has this. So it's not like you're adopting my compass. No, that's not what you're
it
here.
won't work.
Right. Not
Yeah.
work. But whatever is truest for you, you get to follow that inner guidance. We get to follow our inner guidance and go and ask those questions of ourselves. Is this still in alignment with me, or is this still resonant with me? Do I absolutely, what am I holding on to?
And it's also a wonderful time. I think the full moon is lighting up things right now that we have just patterns that we've had, routines we've had. stories we've been saying in our mind that maybe are no longer in alignment as well. People who are no longer in alignment. We came back together for my volunteer gig for the Fair Shares, which is a local, about 100 farmers and providers, local produce and goods, food goods. And we had thought it was going to disband, and then some new partners came through. So it's different people, it's different systems, it's different. And I could feel the resistance from some people of like, well, we've never done it like that before. And I said, this is the way it's going to be now. And and some people that are excited about the change and others that were kind of like, so I was laughing because it's a good thing because we're coming back to be able to eat local food and have it all provided for us, gathered for us. And yet the players are different. So we kind of felt into it last night. It was a somber evening. I thought it was going to be more celebratory, but so where I'm at with this is I want to talk about the addiction shadow, which we tend to use for really chemical, alcohol, food, sex, the really what we call the bad things where it totally can take over your life.
Right.
Any addiction, phones, needing to be validated, needing for others to see us, needing to interrupt, which is mine. Sometimes it's silence and listening to what somebody's trying to say to me and noticing it now and saying, and then pausing, which is where the gift can show up and say, oh, is there another way to do this? Is there another way to be? That's where the invention, the inventiveness comes in. And then we get to go into the beautiful civic state of silence, which is not empty. It's so, you've
It's
been
real.
playing a lot with that, I know, these last few weeks. And what do you want to say about silence? Because I have a feeling you've been learning a lot in that space.
I realized I had been unknowingly, addicted to not staying in my lane and looking at other things, whether it be social or external conditions. And when I kept being bombarded by sounds, I mean, it was so deafening. I had to tune in by just literally unplugging. And it all of a sudden yesterday, I was reminded of something I did at a women's retreat, which was called silent meditation. Or no, it was still point meditation. And I'm going to share this so that maybe this might resonate for those of you that may feel a little wackadoodle.
Understandably.
If you go out to a natural area and get like a 4x4 square plot. And I also did this as a child. And get a journal, get a magnifying lens, get curious, and just sit there for 45 minutes and see what you see. Witness the life that is around you at all times. Even though you're in silence, life continues. And it's magical. It's unfolding in its own time, its own pace. And that's what I realized is I sometimes adopted other people's pace, other people's agendas, other people's and my body was just like, I can't, no, it's not how my system wants to operate.
Yeah.
And when can I self-honor my pace and listen to the silence because it's magic.
Yeah. It's teeming with life and inspiration and, well, for me, light and love and truth, my guideposts. And um, it's so interesting because I used to use at retreats the awe walk or the wisdom walk, where you went out for 45 minutes. You planned where what it was going to be the portal, like I'm going to cross this crack in the sidewalk or I'm stepping onto this trail and that's my entry space. And then when you end, whenever it is, you go, this is the end, coming through this at the end of this crossroads to this other trail. But you declare, and in that 45 minutes, it's what do I notice? What beauty do I see? What awarenesses am I learning? And for many of us, we're like, oh, I have to capture that with my phone. So I would ask, because I'm a big one about, oh, I want to remember that. And I'm like, no, the phones stay put away, turned off so that you don't have any ding dangs, nothing. And then what happens is you come back and you relay the story of your walk to another, to a partner. And then when you tell the story, more of it comes through you so that it makes it more memorable and stays in your system. And then I started seeing, oh, well, isn't that interesting? I was walking through a cemetery once. The gravestones on this said Gallup, da 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 da. And I was like, maybe it's time for me to get back to Gallup Strengths Finder. Maybe is that what I'm supposed to be doing? So it's just a suggestion. But it was funny to me. It was just so, every time I've ever gone, I've gotten, especially if I asked a question at the portal, the entry portal, um, that in the next hour, days, weeks, the answers would come coming back. But I love years of sitting still, especially as a child, because you can keep track of them a little bit better that way.
Well, and that's thanks to one of my teachers. She had us do that, and she also had us track the changes. Every season, we went to the same plot of land to see what was different.
Oh, did you bring art supplies to capture it, or did you? Very cool.
So then, you're just it creates that awareness that things have cycles and
Exactly.
changes taking place all the time, in little ways and sometimes big ways.
Yeah.
Um, and it doesn't have to be scary. It's just change, and that's natural.
That's one of the things I was looking at on my moon deck. I got a really cool deck of cards that's for each day of the month as the moon waxes and wanes, and when you hit new moon and full moon and all that. And the full moon is about celebrating the cycle completion, the gratitude, but another one is oh, what did you just say? About noticing the cycles. That, oh, it's come full circle again. Oh, we're beginning a new one. Oh, you know,
Yeah.
um, but the seasonal changes, especially in places like where you and I live, where you really see the differences in the landscape. My dentist office has four pictures. It's the same path four times of the year, but the difference in the trees and the vegetation and the pathway. I love that. And it's a good thing to contemplate while they're cleaning my teeth. So, um, well, we've kind of gone all over the place, but contemplation takes many forms. The beautiful thing about contemplation, according to Richard Rudd, is that it is not as active as like yoga, or it's not as um, still as meditation, but it allows your mind and body and soul to kind of percolate or cook up, or just let that thought or that question, mull around until it's ready to be, some answers might show up. And I love that about contemplation because it's something you can do while you're moving. It's something you can do while you're still. It's something you can do while you're looking at the sky, you know. Um, and then what about for you with the silence and the honoring of your resonance? Is there a practice that we can offer to that? And then I'll do the mudra.
Um, I feel like it's inherent in our bodies. That signal um, is something in my body when I think of something. If it's true, does it feel expansive or am I contracting? Like, is where in my body am I like, or is it like, ooh, that would be delicious? Um, so in that silence, can I be, can I feel all of it? Because sometimes things are the totality of our human experience, which is all of it. But it also is attuning my GPS. I feel like it's a refinement of my being, of my knowingness, to know the discernment of when to move, when not to move, when to be, when to take action. I don't know if that helps, but in that silence, something new is wanting to take shape and form, but it doesn't know yet where to place the energy. So I'm just allowing the compass to reset so that I can find my true north.
Yeah. And I just was thinking of a great topic we can explore maybe next time is the competing binds. When we really want to do this and we really know this is really the best thing for us to do. And then we've got these two different commitments or systemic desires that our soul is trying to complete both, and they really are going to cancel each other out. And so it's that I want to play with that a little bit more so that it's more available to be talked about. But I can feel that in my body, whereas I'm times, oh, that feels good. And then I'm like, but is this the right time for that right now? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
No?
Yeah. The timing part is the interesting part. So I just pause until I actually truly know, and my body gives me the signal now.
Okay. And I think I've not mastered that yet. I get the yes,
Right. But yes, no,
um, but
yeah,
the timing is so, and right now the timing is very
right.
fluid and strange anyway. Um, so that's a good place for us to go. So I want to just do the mudra for this pulse because it feels we're in that moving from the addiction, which is to me it's that fear-based operating system that has the really well ingrained grooves of this is the way I've always done that. To get away from the discomfort, I pick up my phone, I, you know,
Right.
make a friend answer the question for me, I whatever I do,
Every, every distraction possible.
everything. So that I'm like, okay, tune in. What's another way? Then we get to play in inventiveness.
Mhm.
And, since imagination is one of my gifts, I love that because it's like, oh, asking questions, opening the space, like we talk about, widening our vision so that we have peripheral vision. And that feels really lovely. So the mudra, which allows us to enter the space of silence, is you take your index fingers and your thumbs and you bring them together, and then you touch the tips of the fingers together. So it almost looks like you're making a little mask or eyes, and your fingers are just open, the rest of your fingers. And there's two forms of this. There's an open version of this silence mudra, and then there's a closed where you bring your palms and wrists together. keeping the same finger shape. So whichever, like this one, I can feel all my meridians going.
Mm. I like the open one personally.
Interesting. And just taking some breaths and allowing that energy to flow to support each of us. And then we can tune in and contemplate and hmm,
Thank you so very much.
thank you for being with us. We appreciate you.
Much love.
Till next time.